Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd. The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Tuesday, March 11th of 2025. I'm Stasia Blake. In the headlines tonight, Emmeline Pierre leads her first walkout of Parliament as opposition leader. Financial analysts break down Grenada's $1.9 billion budget, and Antigua PM weighs in on ECCB mansion debate. NADMA examines impact of Dolly C incident. And in regional news, Trinidad PM rejects U.S. visa policy over Cuba relations. Internationally, Trump doubles tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum. And coming up in sports, GFA boasting of another successful hosting of a women's festival, while countdown to national champs has begun. We'll have all the details for you right after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave bathroom tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. NNP opposition members have walked out of the national budget debates, citing a procedural breach. Christina John has tonight's first report.
Although because, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance got up and started to move the motion to close the debate. And that is his fundamental right as the Minister of Finance. We are all equals here in this house, you know. Different, whether
Dr. Mitchell.
Minister, Prime, yes, Mr. Speaker. This is a serious statement, Mr. Speaker. Here, and I really wish that we need to obey the rules of the House.
Members of the opposition, who are members of the New National Party, walked out of Parliament while the Prime Minister was wrapping up the 2025 budget debate, citing violations on the government side of Section 40 of the Standing Order.
Basically, I think the Speaker is the #1 defaulter in all this. He clearly does not have a clue of the rules or the fundamental rules of the House. You are supposed to be the umpire in the Parliament, but you are not. Dickon is running the Parliament. If it's a cabinet that he has, I'm not member of Dickon's cabinet. You know what he said inside there? I don't know if you heard him. He said he's giving me a few minutes to come in to give me a chance to speak. He wants to give me a chance to speak. Come in, he couldn't even insult him. The one rule I will always tell all young parliamentarians, the most important variable in successful politics is humility. This Prime Minister has no sense of humility or empathy or love for people. He believes he's the boss and he can do what he wants.
Somebody would have to explain that to me so that I could be comfortable. It means that somebody outside the chamber was calling the shots inside the chamber. And that is the frightening thing, that somebody could stay outside of the chamber and decide what happens in there. And that is frightening to our democracy. It's frightening. And so there's only one thing we expected. As the Speaker rightfully acknowledged the member who would have presented the debate, the budget, to stand and to begin the conclusion of the budget. Well, quite obviously, I cannot account for what happened thereafter.
Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall was on the floor when he was stopped by the Speaker and ordered that Cornwall joined him and the clerk for a discussion. After the discussion, Cornwall returned to his seat and continued with his presentation. But after approximately 5 minutes, the Speaker recessed the session and announced that there is an issue to be resolved and there is need for a 3-minute break. Following the break, the Speaker announced that he called the recess because he observed that the member for St. George Northwest and St. David were yet to make their presentations, and then called on the Prime Minister to begin his contribution. During that time, the opposition was in caucus, and when they returned, MP Dr. Keith Mitchell stood up on a point of order to inquire what was happening because the standing order was in violation. This led to the Speaker reading Section 40, subsection 5. He said that the Prime Minister will be closing the debate because he made the decision.
Now, let me just read it for the benefit of the House, right? We're talking about the standing orders. And you will see it's not the minister, it's the Prime Minister who made the decision. I'll read what the standing order says. I'll read it for the hearing of everyone. No, Dr. Mitchell, the Speaker is on the floor. Let me do what I said I'm doing.
Well, Mr. Speaker, you're getting mad with me.
No, I'm getting mad with you.
Yeah, well,
I'm on the floor.
Mr. Speaker.
Dr. Mitchell, let me read. I'm reading the rules.
Mr. Speaker, you're an umpire.
Dr. Mitchell, I'm reading the rules. Allow me to.
An umpire. You are not a member of the government.
Dr. Mitchell, standing orders 40, subsection 5. I want everybody to listen. The minister finally concluding the debate whether the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, or any other minister designated by the Prime Minister may speak for 1.5 hours in addition to his earlier speech on the budget if he had already so spoken.
The opposition said a decision will be made after they meet. Supporters outside the compound is calling for the Speaker to be removed from his position.
Well, we as a party, and of course the leader of the opposition is right, as you realize, will in fact meet and we'll decide what action we will take according to the number of things that we can do to literally embarrass the government and bring this whole issue before the public space, because I think this is the parliament of the country. This is the highest institution of the land, and it cannot be subservient to the cabinet of the country or the Prime Minister or anybody, any member.
Christina John, GBN News.
The opposition leader told the parliament yesterday that the borrowing for the new hospital project and funding for the budget this year will increase the public debt by EC $1 billion. Peter David, Member of Parliament for the town of St. George, has lamented the display of too much resentment and bitterness by members of both the government and opposition sides in the House during the 2025 budget debate. In his opening statement for the debate, David, who became an independent member after resigning from the main opposition New National Party in January, said he was not representing sides in the House. He suggested that all members should work towards sharing ideas for the development of the country based on the EC $1.9 billion budget presented by Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall.
I think what we need to have come out of these debates is not, it sounds sometimes, Mr. Speaker, like there's some referee scoring somewhere. You know, I give that side 5 points, I give this side 2 points. No. What has to be the result of this debate are some ideas, not only on the budget, but how we transform, the word used by the other side. How do we transform this country? And my my friend used the word yesterday, I said, yes, a bulb went off. That is what we need more of. So I hope that at the end of this debate, I'm not very optimistic because I found that there was a little too much rancor, but that we have some ideas. And I hope in my contribution, don't take it as criticisms. Those are my ideas.
David commended the government for resolving the pay and grade issue for police officers, which, according to the finance minister, will result in constables receiving an additional EC $794 monthly. The 2025 national budget outlines an ambitious vision for economic growth, infrastructural expansion, and social development. But with a history of stalled projects and inefficiencies, the question remains, can these plans be effectively executed? Experts on GBN's Beyond the Headlines analyzed the numbers and their potential impact. Eugenia Peters has more.
The government's spending priorities and revenue projections have sparked debate, with some applauding the scale of investment, while others caution that the key issue is not the size of the budget, but how it is managed. Financial consultant Matonia Monroe says the focus should be on how the funds are allocated and whether they will deliver results for citizens.
I am not at all surprised that the figures have gotten to this limit. I think what is important is to examine where the allocations are actually going, what exactly is the plan of government and how it intends to use these funds, and whether or not we believe that the use of those funds or the planned use of those funds, quite frankly, is going to translate into a transformational Grenada.
Economist Richard Duncan believes the budget, when viewed in relation to Grenada's gross domestic product, GDP, is in line with regional trends and not as large as some may think.
The gross domestic product of Grenada is about 4.4 billion. The budget is about 1.9. So if we look at it in the context of gross domestic product, we are quite there. If we compare it to other countries in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, we are there or thereabouts in terms of the size of the budget. I think the key is on the revenue side, because remember, you have a current account surplus. You have more revenue than you are spending on consumption. You have a current account surplus. Can you collect that revenue?
However, Duncan raises concerns about the government's ability to implement key projects efficiently, pointing to a history of delays in execution.
The implementation rate of projects in the public service is weak and, quite frankly, piss poor. The idea is, has this government done enough to strengthen the implementation capacity of the various ministries and departments for the ambitions that the government has? And that's a big question. And given that risk of what I like to call, the slow implementation rate, I refer to it sometimes as execution velocity. How quickly can you correctly and with speed get certain tasks done to move projects along? That has to be corrected, right, along the way, if the government's ambitions are to be achieved.
As the government moves forward with its 2025 agenda, the effectiveness of project execution will be under scrutiny. Will the budgetary promises lead to real transformation, or will inefficiencies continue to hinder progress? Eugenia Peters, GBN News.
Meanwhile, in responding to concerns over the 2025 budget deficit, during the Beyond the Headlines program, Mr. Duncan, an advisor to the Ministry of Finance, addressed the issue, assuring the public that the government is taking proactive steps to manage the deficit.
You're also talking about incurrence of a deficit of $337 million, I think.
The problem is, first of all, when the deficit initially shows up on your current account, that's when the money you're making from your taxes and so on, your revenue, cannot even pay for your electricity, your salaries, your pension. You have a current account deficit. That's the start of the problem. You're not in that situation. But when the deficit occurs, the problem that the budgeteer has is, how am I going to finance that deficit? You have options, right? You could sell off some assets and get some money. You can withdraw deposits, if you have any, that you have built up over the years. and you can borrow. You also have the government saying that I'm going to draw down some monies from deposits which I have in the banking system and at ECCB. If you read the documents carefully, especially from the IMF, right, government has money in the banking system and at ECCB that it could use to fund the deficit, and that's the option that they have chosen, those two options.
Coming up in Network News, Antigua Prime Minister weighs in on the ECCB mansion debate. Plus, NADMA examines the impact of the Dolly C incident. Stay with us.
Grenada, it's time to feel the adrenaline and crown national champions. The Horizon National Championship 2025 is expected to be bigger, faster, and more thrilling than ever. Mark your calendars for March 15th and 16th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. The nation's best athletes will battle for glory in electrifying races, soaring jumps, and powerful throws. Admission, finish line $30, main stand $20, bleachers $10. Speed, strength, and heart-stopping finishes. It's all happening from 11 a.m. daily. Be there to witness future Grenadian stars. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical, Melville Street, St. George, and Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse, and GoToFed.com.
Boy, yo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up. I'm coming. Karim, what you doing? Fly my kite. Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy. Why not? The wind good. Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity. Yeah, kite. It's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked. Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture. Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
There can only be one champion. Thursday, March 13th, 2025, the Karani James Athletic Stadium becomes a battleground. 12 schools, one epic showdown. The Huggins Private Primary School Track and Field Championships. Starting time 1 p.m. Students in uniform $5. Children $10. Adults $20. Feel the tension. Hear the roar. Witness greatness as young athletes push their limits. The Huggins Private Primary School Track and Field Championships. Miss it and blame yourself.
Grenada, the moment you've been waiting for has arrived. The Spice Mass Corporation presents The Unveiling, where elegance meets excitement in a night of beauty, artistry, and anticipation. On March 14th at 8 p.m., the Trade Center Annex transforms into a spectacle of grace and grandeur as 7 remarkable contestants are revealed, each vying for the coveted title of National Carnival Queen 2025. Indulge in an evening of live music, captivating performances, and pure enchantment. Dress to impress. Formal, fiery, bold, fearless. Enjoy complimentary wine on arrival as you immerse yourself in the magic. Tickets are $100, food inclusive. Available now at Go2Fet, Grenadian Optical, Town and Grand Anne's, and Gittins Pharmacy, Grand Anne's. The Unveiling, March 14th at 8 p.m. A night of elegance, a moment in history. Will you be there?
Do your dreams seem far away from coming true? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $276,000. Fulfilling your plans can be just one ticket away. So play today. Lotto, play and win a lot of money.
ACB's me, start, manage, expand. Don't call me small. I'm dreaming big. I'm gonna have it all. ACB's me, start, manage, expand. Taking on all my competition, got the whole bag's attention. ACB, best financial solution. My business has a good reputation. Ready for success? Call us at 444-4919 or visit us at acbonline.com to learn more. ACB's me. Start, manage, expand your business today.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know. What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart, be prepared, invest in a proper water storage tank today.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell wrapped up the 2025 budget debate, sharing projects and initiatives under the various ministries he has overseen and focusing on several projects in his constituency of St. David. The Prime Minister complained that he's yet to receive the EC $10,000 allocated to members of Parliament. He told the House that despite not receiving his constituency's allocation, he has several projects that range from sewing classes, a sports academy, as well as rehabilitation of community centers. Speaking directly on the $1.9 billion budget, he says it's one that is fully financed and there's a saving of EC $287 million that the government can draw down on to finance it. Prime Minister Mitchell told the House that more funds will be raised on the regional securities market and it's the intention of the government to raise more than EC $50 million. Addressing the concerns of borrowing, he noted that the government will not borrow unless it's absolutely clear that it's required. With regard to the new hospital, the government, he said, is intent to contract the loan in 2025 so that the necessary financing will be in place. Government is anticipating that the new hospital project will get started in 2026.
That the government of Grenada has in its bank accounts savings of $287 million that it intends to use to finance the projected shortfall between the revenue it expects to collect in this 2025 and the money it intends to spend. So let me say that again. A budget is a plan. The team at the Ministry of Finance projects the amount of revenue it expects to get, and where does the revenue come from? Basically, from taxpayers' money, from the VAT, from the customs duties, from the property tax, from the income tax. So if we expect to get $100 from all of this for the year, but we intend to spend $120, then there's a deficit of $20. If we have $15 saved in a consolidated fund, we can spend the $15, so it gives us $115. There's a $5 difference. We borrow the $5 and you get the $120 of actual financing that you need to finance the budget. So when the Minister of Finance says that the budget is fully financed, he didn't just say so, he actually pointed to the source of financing.
Welcome back. Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown has added his voice to the growing debate over the reported $22 million mansion for the Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB. Janelle Dick has more.
As questions mount over the scale of the expenditure on the construction of the ECCB's Governor's Palace, Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brown, who is current chair of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, has acknowledged governance concerns and stressed the need for stronger oversight.
Clearly, there are some governance failures there, and going forward, we're going to have to strengthen the reporting mechanisms and the accountability mechanisms. To strengthen the governance framework, because at the level of the Monetary Council, I would say we were caught flat-footed in terms of the amount of money spent. But I don't know that we can escape the responsibility. One can argue that we ought to have known.
Mr. Brown was speaking on the issue during the Brown and Brown radio show on the weekend. Concerns were initially raised by St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Rolf Gonsalves, who, in a leaked letter addressed to Brown that surfaced last week, criticized the property as excessive and lavish. Speculation is rife about whether Dr. Gonsalves' criticism of the governor and the residence project is part of a broader effort to prevent Antoine from securing a third term at the helm of the ECCB. While acknowledging the high cost of the residence, Prime Minister Brown stopped short of attributing any wrongdoing to the ECCB governor, Timothy Antoine.
There's no evidence that the governor himself had sought to be excessive, and certainly I don't know that I have seen any case of corruption also that would, create an issue in terms of undermining the governor's integrity. I feel that at this point, until we get a proper report, we may have to set up some independent committee to look at this issue.
Brown confirmed that the Monetary Council, which consists of finance ministers from the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, has yet to formally meet on the matter.
The amounts that were spent on the building has raised concerns, and many of us as Monetary Council members, we are concerned, but it may be a little premature for me to make any definitive statements at this time, other than to say that the matter has to be dealt with and resolved, and at some point the Monetary Council will meet and discuss this issue. Okay. And certainly we'll have to keep the public informed as to how this matter is ultimately resolved.
Details from a recent St. Kitts and Nevis Time report reveal that the ECCB governor's residence was originally pegged at 11 million EC dollars based on a quantity surveyor's estimate. However, in December 2022, 4 of the region's most experienced contractors submitted bids, mostly ranging about 20 million EC dollars. These bids, coupled with the fact that the original design was for a 21,000 square foot mansion, estimated at 15 million EC dollars, later scaled down to 10,000 square feet, only to end up costing 22 million EC dollars, have raised serious questions about the quantity surveyors' calculations. Critics argue that a failure to consult additional experts before breaking ground may have allowed this miscalculation to snowball into a regional controversy. With systemic oversights now coming to light, the debate over the ECCB's governor's residence has taken on a new dimension. Some regional observers are of the view that the controversy may be driven by more than just financial mismanagement. The ECCB has had only 3 governors since its inception, all noted for their integrity. GBN will continue to follow this developing story and provide updates as the details emerge. For GBN News, Janelle Dick.
The National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, Operating Center held a meeting on Tuesday, March the 11th to discuss the situation and establish a plan of action to salvage the MV Dolly C. Through a press release, NADMA indicated that the relevant authorities will continue to monitor the boat situation closely and take any necessary action to avoid further negative impacts. So far, there are no reports of oil leaks from the vessel or anything that can lead to a negative environmental impact on marine life. Efforts are still ongoing, though, to pump water from the MV Dolly C, which ran aground on a reef near Point Salines last Saturday night. The vessel was returning home from Trinidad and Tobago, where it had been dry docked for over a month for repairs. There's no word yet who will take up the slack to provide transportation services to Carriacou and Petit Martinique as the island continue with rebuilding efforts following the devastation of Hurricane Beryl. It's said that happiness is a state of mind. This next story is one of courage and resilience. Ivan Ross shared with GBN the story of how he came to live under the roof that once housed his pigs. You heard correctly. He lives in his pig pen. Christina John has this story.
Well, I'm standing next to 71-year-old Mr. Ivan Ross, and where we are standing is what he has transformed into what is now his home. Now, Mr. Ivan has been living in this area here in an area called Granton in Willis, St. George for the past 35 years, and this has been his living condition. Well, he took us through what is now his home.
This was my pig pen. And then 2.5 years now I stopped reaping because of certain condition, and so it's in a condition now. Well, what to say? Hard work, struggling, fighting to make a deal when the deal come, and so there's my bedroom there. There's my kitchen room, my kitchen. And behind the day, I just relax enough after I finish work before I bed, and so I'm afraid of nothing. Happy. I'm feeling happy to live here by myself.
Okay, how you learn to do that?
Well, common sense. And good thinking.
Ross was once an employee at the National Water and Sewage Authority in Awassa. However, after his retrenchment a couple of years ago, he fell on tough times, and so he parted with the animals. This courageous old man lives by himself, cooking in his secured inside fireplace and washing in a small stream not too far away. Ross has 2 sons who lives with their mothers. Ivan said since he has not been able to land a stable job, he survives by food from his garden and odd jobs in his community. After surviving those challenging years, Ivan will soon rest a bit more comfortable, and for this, he is both happy and thankful.
Well, when I get a landscaping to do, a cut yard to do, I go and do it, and whatever I charge, I make that do. Well, I go to the office in Monge, in Tempe, and then they take my name, they give them the report, and they apply. And I'm feeling proud now. I'm feeling proud and happy, glad for the help. Yeah. All who give me help, I want to thank them. And
Dr. Malachi Dottin is the president of Northwest Development Authority. He told GBN following the completion of the home, which is being done by the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, other amenities such as home appliances will be provided through assistance that will be sought.
In the constituency of Northwest, we have been doing an assessment of the need of Aspire people. And the constituency have come up with the name of Mr. Rost, and the village chair have requested of me to come here to look at Mr. Rost where he's living. As I've said, he have been living here in the pen for the last 17 years, and we felt it. We have selected a young constructor to do the job, and I'm very contented what has been done very effectively in a very short space of time. The building is under the Build Back Better project. It's a 3-room building. It will have 3 rooms with the rest of facilities, living room, bathroom, and I'm sure that will hasten the days of happiness for Mr. Ross. The only cost of Mr. Ross is to taking care of the home. That's the only cost.
Shaquille Amede and his team of 3 have been contracted by the ministry to undertake the project. Amede gave the assurance that the work will be complete in a matter of weeks, providing the weather remains favorable.
Okay, so basically this is just the lining up of the foundation here. So that is just to get the starting of the pillars and stuff, right? The step here, it basically is upwards. So right now it's just to dig the holes and start going up with the pillars, and from here flooring and framing up and basically house them. So technically, if we get good weather for the next 3 weeks, within a 3 weeks to a month time, we'll get the whole house finished.
So from outside, what would soon be the former dwelling place for Mr. Ivan Ross, I am Christelina John for GBN News.
An inspiring story of somebody who fell in hard times but never gave up. We pray he enjoys his new home. A high-level UN Women's event is championing women's leadership and addressing security challenges across the Caribbean. Rena Pierre-Thomas will tell us more.
The Commission on the Status of Women, supported by the United Nations Women Caribbean, brought together regional and international stakeholders to advocate for a woman, peace and security approach to human security in the Caribbean, including Grenada, addressing critical challenges such as crime, violence, human mobility, climate insecurity, social cohesion, and gender-based violence. The event underscored the importance of women's leadership in fostering sustainable peace and security within CARICOM and beyond. The event is part of the 69th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, with representatives from government and civil society and activists meeting at the United Nations to drive progress on gender equality. This year marks 30 years since the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, a milestone moment for women's rights. Benita Diop, Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security in the African Union Commission, delivered the feature address.
We cannot help but celebrate achievement made while at the same time acknowledging the challenges that still exist for women and girls in fragile states. Women in the Caribbean, just like their counterparts in Africa, we're still affected by violence, organized crime, climate change, and political instability. Nevertheless, they are still involved in peace-building processes and play the leading role in the advocacy for peaceful and resilient society, and in particular, recognizing the role of member state, but also civil society at the grassroots level.
The Caribbean, like many other regions, face complex security threats that disproportionately impact women and marginalized groups. According to Diop, the event highlights how the WPS agenda serves as the strategic framework to address these multifaceted issues, emphasizing that women's empowerment is not only a matter of equality, but also a fundamental precondition of regional stability and resilience.
The appointment of a CARICOM WPS envoy is a significant step, I would say, that will increase the representation of women in the decision-making process and their involvement in peace-building process. Our experience in Africa have shown that when you have a special envoy, they can make a difference in all the countries and the region. And we are very happy that this is happening in the Caribbean region. It's the power of women coming together, women of Africa, but women of the other continent, to build alliances and so make sure that we are together.
As the Caribbean continues to navigate its evolving security landscape, the Women, Peace and Security Framework is a crucial tool for fostering inclusive, sustainable peace. By recognizing and amplifying the role of women in security and governance, it is anticipated that the region can build a more resilient and equitable future for all. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Coming up next in Network News, a reforestation project at Les Avocats Forest Reserve in St. David is in the works. More news straight ahead.
Grenada. It's time to feel the adrenaline and crown national champions. The Horizon National Championship 2025 is expected to be bigger, faster, and more thrilling than ever. Mark your calendars for March 15th and 16th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. The nation's best athletes will battle for glory in electrifying races, soaring jumps, and powerful throws. Admission, finish line $30, main stand $20, bleachers $10. Speed, strength, and heart-stopping finishes. It's all happening from 11 a.m. daily. Be there to witness future Grenadian stars. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical, Melville Street, St. George, and Spiceland Mall Grand Anse, and GoToFed.com.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting, and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, so no. Fully 1 week. Nah. Telling you. You them boss dragon. Hello. I see that. About 10 let them make a hard day, man. Me a 38 man. But you are 92. Yeah. You need the number 1 run, man. That is it. No what? Nice. Yeah. Number 1. Yeah, me too, man.
Whether sipped neat, mixed into a classic cocktail, or savored on the rocks, our rum delivers a taste that captivates and satisfies. Choose greatness. Choose Classcoat, the number 1 rum. Produced by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the number 1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grand Anse, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
No frills, just great prices, only at Courts. We don't just talk about it, we got it. Shop and save big on appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. Great deals on mattresses, plus free gift with purchase of selected Ashley items. Plus, with Ready Finance, get it now, pay later. No fine print and no tricks, only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer runs from 25th February to 24th March 2025.
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please. Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet? Yes, multi-X, all of them. Smart. Best value bet. Backup and multi-X, you cannot go wrong. Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily Pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
The Ministry of Agriculture is receiving assistance to implement a reforestation project at Les Avocats Forest Reserve in St. David. The initiative will aid in the conservation of biodiversity, protection of wildlife habitats, and sustainable management of natural resources. Here's more in this report.
The Forestry Division of the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Forestry, Marine Resources, and Cooperatives is getting external help to implement a reforestation project within the Les Avocats Forest Reserve in St. David. Support is being provided by the Partnership Initiative for Sustainable Land Management through the Caribbean Small Island Developing States Multi-Country Soil Management Initiative for Integrated Landscape Restoration and Climate Resilient Food Systems, or Soil Care Project Phase 1. Soil Care, which is funded by the Global Environment Facility with implementation support from the Food and Agriculture Organization, is addressing land and water resources issues within this intervention site by focusing on the removal of invasive bamboo and blue maho species, restoration of native ecosystems, and implementation of sustainable soil and land management practices, which includes stabilization of the riverbank using silt traps and vetiver grass. Project manager for the Soil Care Project, Trevor Thompson, indicated that the work commenced in February under the supervision of the Soil Care Project Assistant for Grenada, Ms. Kanisha Canning, and the Forestry Department of the Ministry of Agriculture. According to Thompson, 12 persons comprising 8 assistants and 4 chainsaw operators from within the community were employed during this first phase of the work at the intervention site. Additional workers will be added during the reforestation phase of the project. Land management specialist Dr. Ronan Francis explained how the reserve was selected.
Through the Grenada Land Degradation Neutrality Target Setting Program, the Les Avocats Forest was identified as a land degradation hotspot that has been selected as a key intervention site for the Soil Care Phase 1 project, an effort that plays a crucial role in tackling land degradation in Grenada. Intervention work being carried out at Les Avocats is a significant step forward in protecting our environment while also supporting the people who depend on these lands for their livelihoods under Component 2 of the project, which specifically focuses on rehabilitating degraded land and soil, promoting integrated landscape management, and identifying sustainable livelihood opportunities for our community.
Dr. Francis stated that provisions have been made for repurposing the bamboo and the blue and white maho trees.
Under the leadership of the Ministry of Economic Development, Planning, Tourism, Creative Economy, Culture, Agriculture and Lands, Forestry, Marine Resources and Cooperatives, we have already made considerable progress. Work has begun with the strategic clearing of 10 acres of bamboo stands and the careful thinning and pruning of the blue and white maho trees that have been linked with excessive water extraction from the watershed. To ensure these tasks are carried out effectively, we have deployed 4 specialized teams from the Forestry Department. As a part of the project initiative, the teams have been equipped with all of the tools and resources necessary to complete their tasks within the project timeline.
The reforestation work at the Les Avocats Forest Reserve reflects the Soil Care Project's commitment to restore degraded areas and implement sustainable practices, thereby improving community livelihoods and improve the potential for a more sustainable future for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The cost of the reforestation project is estimated at EC $80,158.50. Delroy Louison, GBN News.
The Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, GFNC, is gearing up for the 2025 National Nutrition Quiz, where young minds will battle for bragging rights in food and health knowledge. More in this Christina John report.
The Grenada Food and Nutrition Council has announced the dates for the 2025 National Nutrition Quiz, with the primary school competition set for April 10th and the secondary school competition scheduled for April 29th. Defending their championship title this year are Limes Mennonite School in the primary category and Bishop's College in the secondary category. Shuris Bristol is the Grenada Food and Nutrition's Nutrition Education and Promote Coordinator and Chair of the Quiz Planning Committee.
We have the preliminary beginning March 20th, that's with the primary schools, and we have the secondary on March 25th. From then, we have schools that will be selected to move on to the final round, that we will determine who is the winner of 2025 quiz, which is on the 10th of April and the 29th April. So the 10th would be for primary and the 29th would be for secondary schools.
The top 3 winners in both divisions will receive educational material, physical activity tools, day passes to True Blue Bay Resort, and opportunities to participate in health-related events. Bristol shared that despite the many prizes, participation from secondary schools is low.
This year, what we have is 17 schools for primary registered. That's including the champions from last year, which is Limes Mennonite. And for secondary, which is the lower, we have 7 of them, including our champion, Bishop's College. I really hoped we had more participation. I know schools have been busy with the sports, and I know for Carriacou part, the hurricane, and it's been a struggle, with the setting of classrooms and classes, but still we have to give students the opportunity to you can say test themselves, and it's not just for the students, not just for the teachers, not just for the school, but for everyone.
Participation in the Grenada Food and Nutrition Quiz exposed students to career path in areas such as sport nutrition, dietetics, food science, and nutrition education. Bristol added that the competition was designed to make learning interactive and to help students retain essential knowledge while fostering lifelong health habits.
And with this quiz, we're hoping that people can tune in and maybe come be part of it, whether in person at the youth center on the 10th and 29th or on live via GIS Facebook page or YouTube and Mikey Live. So we use the curriculum, the school food, nutrition and health curriculum, and we choose topics from there. We send the topics out to the Ministry of Education, and they created a circular and they sent it to the schools to prepare for the competition.
The Grenada Food and Nutrition Council is committed to promoting nutrition awareness and inspiring young minds to make informed decisions for a healthier future. Marina P. Thomas, GBN News.
Stay with us. Coming up next, we'll have sports and international news.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
It happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play Instacash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope.
And we can play it anytime and any day?
Yep, including Sundays. Instacash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Good evening, sports fans. Women are being given greater opportunities to advance themselves in the sport of football. This, as close to 100 individuals representing clubs across the island completed another of the Women's Football Festivals organized by the Grenada Football Association over the weekend. During the one-day event, teams engaged in a 7-versus-7 tournament with participants divided into 3 groups and matches played in 20-minute halves. It's an inclusive occasion welcoming female players of varying ages and skill levels to take part. Kazira Thomas, the women's director at GFA, expressed excitement about the festival, emphasizing its focus on celebrating women's involvement in the sport.
To be a part of the female aspect of the sport. These events tend to expose the ladies together with the coaches here who will be scouting for new talents for our women program, the under 14 team, under 17 and senior team. So these events are put on to have the girls playing friendly matches, competitive matches, so that when we come together, they all can compete, and then the coaches on a whole will look forward for new talents from these friendly matches.
The initiative by the GFA sought to enhance opportunities for women and girls to engage in organized football activities throughout Grenada, with teams from different communities expected to join. The Ariza National Championships, a highlight of the nation's athletic calendar, is set to take place on the 15th and 16th of March 2025 at the Cranny James Athletic Stadium. The 2025 event promises to be a fierce display of athleticism as top athletes from across Grenada vie for spots in the Crifta Games and secure the gold trophy for their clubs. Celebrating over a decade of partnerships, Ariza continues to play an instrumental role in supporting Grenada's youth development through sports, providing athletes with a platform to showcase their skills and dedication. Ariza has increased its sponsorship of the event by $10,000 to $50,000 in 2025. First Vice President of the Grenada Athletics Association, John L. Mitchell, expressed gratitude towards Ariza for its unwavering support of the sport and athletes.
It is our mandate, it is our aim to continuously develop on the product of track and field, ensuring that our athletes have the best avenues, the best chances of competing. And with that in mind, we have hosted, and as you've noticed, over the last 2 or 3 years or so, the number of meets that we're hosting as an organization, they've grown. A matter of fact, just for this cycle, we've already hosted quite a number of meets. And in each of these meets, we have seen participation of
Haley Matthews and the Mumbai Indians women ended the league phase of the 2025 Women's Premier League, or WPL, with an 11-run loss to defending champions Royal Challengers Bangalore women at the Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai on Tuesday. RCB, after being put into bat by Mumbai skipper Harmanpreet Kaur, posted a respectable 199 for 3 from their 20 overs at the crease, thanks to 53 off 37 balls from captain Smriti Mandamhana and 49 off 38 balls from Australian all-rounder Elise Perry. Madahana's knock included 6 4s and 3 6s, while Perry hit 5 4s and a 6. Risha Ghosh also played well for 36 off 22 balls, including 5 4s and a 6, while Georgia Wareham also hit 5 4s and 1 6 on her way to 31 off just 10 balls. Matthews picked up 2 for 37 from 4 overs. Mumbai then fell agonizingly short of their target, reaching 188 for 9 in their 20 overs. Nat Skeever Brunt led the way with 69 off 35 balls, including 9 4s and 2 6s, while Sajivan Sajana and Harmanpreet made 23 and 20 respectively. Matthews also looked good for her 19 off 16 balls at the top of the innings. Sneh Rana took 3 for 26 from her 4 overs, while Kim Garth and Elise Perry each ended with 2 wickets. As a result of the loss, the Mumbai Indians finished second on the point standing on 10, trailing the Delhi Captains on net run rate. And that's what's been happening in the world of sports. And now for a look at what's been happening around the region and the wider globe today. Trinidadian Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has come out in defense of his country's sovereignty following the recent threat of U.S. visa restrictions announced by President Donald Trump's administration. Earlier this month, a new mandate to Caribbean countries by the U.S. government was to cease utilizing the Cuban medical mission or face visa sanctions. We get more in this CNC3 report.
Dr. Keith Rowley is pushing back against the threat of potential U.S. visa restrictions stemming from Cuban healthcare workers, including those working under Cuba's labor export program.
Out of the blue now we are being called human traffickers because we hire technical people who we pay top dollar equal to local rates, but we are now being accused of taking part in the program where people are being exploited.
At the opening of the practical completion of the construction of the Port of Spain General Hospital Central Block on Monday, the Prime Minister defended the right of Trinidad and Tobago to make decisions in the best interest of citizens.
There are local people here encouraging them to take away our U.S. visas. Today, I just came back from California, and if I never again in my life, I will ensure that the sovereignty of Trinidad and Tobago is known to its people and respected by all.
Armed militants in Pakistan have attacked a train carrying hundreds of passengers, taking a number of hostages, military sources have told the BBC. The Baloch Liberation Army, BLA, fired at the Jafar Express train as it traveled from Quetta to Peshawar. A statement from the separatist group said it had bombed the track before storming the train in the remote CB district. It claimed the train was under its control. Pakistani police told local reporters at least 3 people, including the train driver, had been injured. Security forces have been sent to the scene along with helicopters to try to rescue hostages. And that's around the globe today. And now for a recap of the night's top headlines. Emmeline Pierre leads her first walkout of Parliament as opposition leader. Financial analysts break down Grenada's $1.9 billion budget, and Antigua PM weighs in on ECCB mansion debate. Also, NADMA examines impact of Dolly C incident. In the region, Trinidad PM rejects U.S. visa policy over Cuba relations. And internationally, Pakistan militants attack train and take passengers hostage. In sports, GFA boasting of another successful hosting of a women's festival, while countdown to national champs has begun. If you missed any part of this newscast, there'll be a rebroadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Stasia Blake, and that's the news. Thank you so much for joining us. See you again tomorrow night.